evening. I am student meteorologist Jonathan Marcus here with a live look over Doak Campbell Stadium, where we notice we do have a little bit of sun peeking through the cloud cover that has been dominant all day. As we were walking to class today, many of us got rained on. We haven't had a rainy day like that in quite a long time, so that was nice to be around. And looking at the radar, you'll notice we do have some stronger shower activity to our east and to our south, associated with a stationary front that is just off the coast. We have this light shower activity over the western panhandle, and that activity is pushing north and northeast, but primarily showers are ending across the region right now. And looking at the broader picture, you have this cold front here associated with this stationary front, and that is going to bring an end to this stormy weather later on during the weeks. But tonight, low of 72, showers are very likely, sunset at 6:52 p.m. These rain chances should be fizzling out as we move further on. So we're going to discuss when we'll see clear skies again, when we'll have cooler temps on the way, and this weekend is our big Miami rivalry game. The weather is going to be very pleasant for this Miami game, which we're going to talk about later, but for right now, we are stuck with these rain chances, and for more on this very beneficial rain, we'll talk about that later on the show. Once again, this is student meteorologist Jonathan Marcus, and FSU weather starts now.
Good evening, everybody. I'm student meteorologist Harrison Prieto.
And I'm student meteorologist Hayden Wilder.
We've really had a rainy day here in Tallahassee. Quite dreary outside, lots of cloud cover. Really, we haven't had that in a while here in Tallahassee.
No, I woke up this morning and I heard the rain drumming on my apartment. I did not want to get up, and I didn't know what the sound was, so we just haven't seen it very often.
Yeah, and because of that, because of us not seeing a whole lot of rain here, we actually are in a pretty severe drought, so this is good rain. You know, it might ruin a few plans, but pretty good rain, all things told.
Yeah, the rain is not a good timing with the holiday weekend and with the game week coming up, but it is, as Harrison said, is very beneficial for us because we really do need that precipitation.
Yeah, and actually, you know, later on in the week, we're going to, you know, kind of clear out of this rainy pattern, and we're going to get into some really nice fall-like weather.
Yeah, right now we have a stationary front. It's gonna be warm up and down until Halloween. But as you mentioned, yeah, it's going to get very cool this weekend.
Yeah, we have a good cold front coming through. It's going to bring temps all the way down into the 40s for our morning lows as we get into the weekend. A really, really nice change. You get out there for the Miami game on Saturday. We're going to be looking at highs around 69, 70 degrees. That is a very welcome change. You know, I think last weekend we had highs in the 80s for our game versus Syracuse.
Yeah, that kind of like pre-fall warmth is definitely going to go away, and we will establish into a more traditional fall pattern. And so, FSU students, we really should look forward to it.
Yeah, so, you know, once you start getting into the fall pattern, kind of what you expect is rain, warm up, cold front, and you know, we're not quite to that winter time. We can still get those days where we're up into the 80s. So really just all around a really nice change. But for now, we're going to go ahead and take things out to the wall, where I'm going to go ahead and give a look at the southeast here. And right now, we're going to start off with our current temperatures across the southeast, mostly in the 70s, except across Florida here, across the Florida Peninsula, where temperatures are in the 80s, mid-80s, upper 80s in some spots. Orlando at 87, Miami all the way down here at 85. But for the rest of us in the southeast, we are looking at 70s, 77 here in Tallahassee, only 70 degrees in New Orleans. A little bit cooler as you get off towards the northwest, a little more rainfall, and you're closer to that cold front that's going to come through, help cool things off across the southeast over the next few days. Once again, those dew points really humid here across Florida. In the 70s, it's making it feel quite muggy, especially with all that rainfall that we've been seeing. But a little drier as you get north and away from the rainfall, and then as you head off towards Little Rock, Shreveport, 54 and 64 degrees respectively for your dew points. And then I don't know if you can see it, but off towards the northwest portion of this map, you can see that cold front coming through with that drier air behind it that's going to filter in and really kick fall into place here in Tallahassee. As we look at the winds across the southeast, we've got easterly flow for the most part at the surface, really helping to drive in a little bit of moisture. And with that stationary boundary that's going to be draped right across the Gulf Coast here, that easterly flow and southerly flow in the mid-levels, you are getting a little bit of rain sparked off. And then back here off towards Louisiana, we are seeing a little bit more heavy rainfall. That's because of that cold front that is draped somewhere across Arkansas and Texas right now. Zooming out a little bit more, here you go. You can see that cold front we've been talking about, and you can see the stationary front draped here, helping to bring us rainfall, helping to bring the western portions of the southeast rainfall, and eventually this will go ahead and drift across the southeast and really cool things off for us here. As we go through the next 48 hours or so, that southerly flow does continue, helping to drive in storms and showers across the southeast. And here we go with that cold front starting to make its way into the Florida Panhandle over the end of the next 48 hours. That's going to be Thursday evening here. You can really see that cold front helping to spark off some showers. And man, I think everybody here cannot wait. With all the rain that's expected, our drought monitor does show how dry we've been lately. So this rain is welcomed here in Tallahassee. For tonight, we are going to see lows only in the low 70s here in Tallahassee, mid 70s for the Florida Peninsula. And again, the same theme, a little bit cooler as we get off towards the north and west and the southeast. 69 degrees as well for New Orleans International with some rain in the forecast there. Tomorrow, our high temps will be in the 80s here in Tallahassee, 83 degrees, 84 in Jacksonville, 89 in Orlando. So warm in the peninsula. Again, a little bit cooler, and you can start to see the front beginning to advance into the southeast here in tomorrow's forecast with the clear line of the brighter reds, warm temperatures, and we have those cooler blues behind it indicating that we are going to see that front start to advance. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and pass things off here to Hayden for a look at the local.
Yes, it was a pretty dreary day out there. A lot of rain in the morning hours, probably a good day to bring your rain boots out because we definitely need in the area, especially in the hours. And so looking over our cam, you can really see those dark skies that have defined a way today. It was very dreary out, it is still like showers around the area, and so you'll continue to experience these symptoms. And so looking at our area, you can kind of see this cold front, which will come into our area in the next picture. And then looking down here, this is our stationary front. This stationary front is responsible for bringing up the moisture level in our area. And so that's why we saw those showers today in Tallahassee. We're really bringing out the moisture today with this moist air. And so zooming into our area, you can see there's currently a heavy shower out by St. Mark's. And then looking back towards west on the Panhandle, you can kind of see these light showers continuing to go up towards Alabama and Georgia. And this will continue to be the trend today, maybe drying out a little bit as we lose some of that daytime heating. And then lastly, you can really see some heavy thunderstorms out by Jacksonville and the I-10 corridor and the I-75 junction. And so this will be the trend as they continue to push off into the northeast direction. So our temperatures, Tallahassee currently 77. So it's definitely, it's not cold, but it's not hot either with those clouds. However, you can see a little bit cooler around Thomasville at 73, Valdosta at 74. And so it is fairly comfortable out there, even though we do have a high dew point, which will bring in that moisture. Speaking of the high dew point, you can see Tallahassee 72. It's pretty impressive, especially for late October. It's more summertime-like humidity that we see in July, so we have to watch that. And then down at Perry 74. It's just absolutely impressive. You'll really start to sweat when you go out there today. But let's look at that future radar. You can kind of see those showers dissipating, leaving mostly cloudy skies, a little bit clearing out by the Nature Coast. And then as we go through our day, these clouds will continue to thin out before seeing some moisture out by Valdosta and also out by Bainbridge as a cold front starts to approach us. So looking out to tonight's forecast, it's going to be 72. The temperatures aren't really going to change much because we have high dew points. And we're going to have showers likely, sunset at 6:52, so it is starting to get darker out there today. And so looking out for tomorrow's forecast, expect the same. Bring those rain boots, those galoshes. Make sure to bring the umbrella. It is going to be cloudy showers, high 83. So we're ahead of that cold front, and we're behind the warm front. And so it will be very warm out there still. So definitely make sure to keep that in mind if you're out there today, students. And so looking out into a Miami forecast, it will be cool. That cold front will come through, and it'll be a pleasant 69. So it is perfect game day weather for us to enjoy here in Tallahassee. Out into the 7-day, we will kind of see these warm temperatures, followed by that big cold front with the high 70 on Saturday and 67 on Sunday. Now we're going to pass it off to the video, and we'll hear about AMS.
Florida State University places an emphasis on sustainability as a campus, whether that be recycling bins to hydration stations, public transportation, and more. FSU Weather wants to highlight student organizations that help the environment in some way, as our generation will see the effects of climate change throughout our lifetime. Today, I spoke to Parker Beasley, the Science and Outreach Chair for the North Florida chapter of the American Meteorological Society and National Weather Association.
So the purpose of the organization is to spread knowledge about science, particularly oceanic and atmospheric sciences. That includes atmospheric, oceanic, and hydrologic sciences. And it's a big organization that's nationwide, not just here in the North Florida chapter, but it's a nationwide organization. And they really spread the initiative of spreading what science is, what we study, what we research, and how can we improve these areas of science.
I later asked Parker what his position consists of.
Daily life is sending out emails to numerous other organizations to partake in their group sessions or just spread the initiative of the AMS/NWA. Some things that we've done so far is participate in the Keep Tallahassee Beautiful event, which is where we went to a lake locally here, cleaned it up for a couple of hours, got a bunch of trash out, really helping the environment.
Unfortunately, due to Tropical Storm Nestor, one of their events this weekend was canceled, but they're still finding ways to give back.
We are helping out with Hurricane Dorian. We currently have a relief fundraiser for them that we're participating in with other groups, not just the North Florida chapter, but other AMS groups across the country, such as ULM and others.
There are ways to stay up to date with Parker and his team.
So people can stay up to date with us by going to our Facebook page or our Twitter at North Florida AMS/NWA, and they can follow us and like us, and that's it.
Stay Garnet, Gold, and Green Seminoles. With FSU Weather, I'm student meteorologist Sloan Haynes.
Thanks, Sloan. And now we're going to start things off again with the show after a little hiatus there with our temperatures across the nation here. Our warm spot in the southeast is Miami here at 85 degrees. Our cool spot is Denver at only 11 degrees. There is some snow with that. And I saw some videos from a friend up there. It looked pretty snowy, so obviously winter is starting there in Denver. Our dew points will show you that frontal boundary we've been mentioning all day in the show here. Dry air behind the front, more moist air out in front. 72 here in Tallahassee for a dew point. Billings, Montana, 0 degrees for your dew point. That is very, very, very dry up there. Our storm outlook today from the Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma is showing that marginal risk for severe weather here for areas in the southeast Louisiana, southwestern Mississippi, as well as portions of Texas. So there is a slightly higher chance for severe weather than normal there in association with these fronts here, the stationary front across the southeast and the cold front that is draped across the center of the country. Our upper level water vapor is going to do a good job showing you the upper level troughing that's helping to drive in these fronts here across the region. We've got this big upper trough across the west, and if you look across the southeast, we kind of have this area of high pressure here, and in between that we do get that stormy weather that we're seeing on radar and helping to drive in the fronts and the temperature change that will be coming behind them. Our satellite and radar across the southeast here is going to show you once again all of that rain we've been getting throughout the day, a little bit more to our west now and our northeast. There are some higher chances of some stronger storms over there. As we look out across eastern Texas and western Louisiana, there are some stronger thunderstorms there. And then behind the cold front, we are seeing a little bit of rain that is going to start to transition to snow. We're going to show you that in just a second here. But behind the front, we do see this rain, a little bit of clearing, and then some snow up north of that, north of Kansas and Colorado as well. And once again, here is that snow mentioned earlier, the snow that is in Denver. Just a few flakes flying now, but as we get into the next day or so, we are going to expect a little upper level disturbance to expand towards the east and really help to bring some snow to portions of Oklahoma and Kansas. Kansas City, you're not out of the woods, you're going to see some snow and really help ride up this cold front here and deliver some snow to portions of the country that really haven't seen a lot of snow yet. So first snow of the season for many places. Our storm outlook tomorrow is going to see some marginal risk for severe weather along that cold front as it starts to advance to the east and kick up some thunderstorms. That won't quite make it into our area, but we do have that risk for thunderstorms here in Tallahassee tomorrow, as seen in this green outline here. So be wary of some thunderstorms and showers tomorrow afternoon. As we look at the forecast for tonight, we are going to be in the 70s here in Tallahassee. And again, general theme is as you head off towards the northwest in the United States, you're going to get colder here. Denver 6 degrees, Billings 9 degrees, even Albuquerque 28 degrees. So the cool down has started out there. Not quite here yet, but it's coming. And tomorrow for our forecast highs, 83 in Tallahassee, 82 in New Orleans, 34 in Kansas City with some snow, and then 18 in Denver and 41 in Albuquerque. Here's a look at your next local, and that'll be given by Jonathan.
So, one of the biggest things that we're talking about with this cold front is that we are going to go ahead and get some rainfall. Today, we have observed almost, 0.24 inches of rain, which is higher than our normal, and that has helped our monthly get higher than our normal monthly. But the biggest thing to notice here is that we are still almost 20 inches below average per year, which is a huge thing. As we mentioned earlier, we are currently in a drought, and that is causing conditions that are not as bad as what we're going to see in California later on in the show, but we do have some dangerous drought conditions going on. But we have this stationary front just to our south and this cold front right here, and those are going to produce some rain, periods of rain activity like we've seen today through the area, which is going to give us some very beneficial rain, which is something that we need very much in this area. So as I said earlier, we have this shower activity that has been going through the area throughout the day. Right now, the strongest activity is out to our east and just to our south over by St. Mark's. Behind me, we have this lighter shower activity. None of that activity is actually going to reach our area. Most of that is going to push up to our north and out of the way. But temperatures, you can really see where the rainfall has been. That has helped keep us very cool today. We are experiencing our more fall-like temperatures in the 70s, Tallahassee at 77, where it has currently stopped raining. Where it is still raining a little bit heavier in areas like Thomasville, it is 73. I'm not really sure why Bainbridge has a sunshine there because there was some rain on the radar there. But the dew points is really indicative of how much moisture this disturbance is bringing. And Tallahassee, we're at 72, Bainbridge at 73. These are very muggy dew points, and that is meaning that we have the shower activity and that the shower activity can be sustained. Now, if you have been watching the show, you noticed that last weekend we had a cold front move through the area, and that reduced our dew points, but we have gone back up due to the warm front that moved through. And because of that, tonight's lows aren't going to be as low as they were over the weekend. You're going to have 72 in Tallahassee, 70 up in South Georgia, Quincy at 70 as well, a little bit warmer down by the coast. Tomorrow's forecast, because of that warm front, we're going to get back up into the 80s, but do not fear, that is going to go away soon. Tomorrow morning, we're going to start out at 75. By noon, you have a chance of a thunderstorm, and then those rain chances from the front are going to fizzle out throughout the day, but the temperatures are going to warm up into the 80s, which means we are getting back into your typical summertime conditions, but that is not going to last. Notice after our rain chances on Wednesday and Thursday, the temperature difference from Thursday to Friday, that is almost a 20-degree difference. So that is going to be a very good thing for us. Notice for our Miami game, the temperatures are going to feel very, very cool. And that is going to be something that allows us to enjoy the game. It's not going to be very hot. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and pass things off to Hayden, who's going to take a look at the California weather that has been prolonged by a period of drought.
Yeah, so today's segment is Welcome to California. Although today you probably don't want to be welcome to California. We've had very dangerous fire conditions. And so you can see this area of low pressure, this cold front, which is actually bringing very strong winds into the Northern California region. And then in addition, you can kind of see the lack of clouds, which we don't have a lot of moisture to fight that fires. And so it is a very dangerous situation, as we said, out in California. So you can kind of see those dry conditions. You can see a little bit of mountain snow, but that is not a factor, and that is not our focus. Our focus is these warnings. So these warnings have a high wind warning, a freeze warning, air quality warning, fire weather warning. We have all these warnings. So basically what it means is California, the weather, it's not good right now. We have Santa Ana winds fueling fire conditions, and we also have very cool temperatures risking hypothermia in the high mountains. And so there's just a lot of going on right now. It's really hard for me to stress the danger that California is in. And so these temperatures, it's actually not too warm. 69 in Los Angeles, 70 in Bakersfield, 63 in Redding, and 60 in Sacramento. However, the real factor is those winds and dry conditions. That's what fuels the fire. It doesn't have to be 95 out there to really fuel it. And then these dew points really exemplify. Bakersfield, 25. Visalia, 32. Reading, where the fire is worse, that KK fire, 0. And so that's why we have these fire conditions. It's very dangerous. I will say out by Los Angeles, San Diego, closer to the coast, you have maritime influence. It is a little bit more humid. And so if you're fleeing those fires, you definitely want to head out into those regions. It'll probably be least likely to get infected. But let's look what we know about the Kincade factor. It is only 15% contained. It's destroyed more than 120 structures, and we've scorched more than 75,000 acres and 185,000 evacuees. That is a serious situation. So if you're out in California, if you're out in San Francisco tonight, it's going to be clear skies and cool temps 48. Do watch out for that smoke. It'll probably be heavy in the areas. And so if you have like breathing hazards or you're very susceptible, the young and the elderly, make sure you stay inside, keep updated with your officials. And so moving on to our 3-day forecast, hopefully those wind conditions do improve. I know right now it is very high winds, but these should start to subside. 69, 72 Thursday, 70 Friday. And so the temperatures are not hot, but we still have those sunny icons. And so we have still those strong winds. We have a low dew point, and it is a perfect recipe for fires in California, unfortunately. Hopefully next week we get some frontal activity in the northwest, and this will bring some moisture into California and hopefully end this wildfire season. And so that's going to be out for today. So once again, I kind of want to reiterate the facts. So right now in Los Angeles, we do have a new fire out. It's called the Getty's fire. Ignore these graphics. They're not enough graphics for what I'm about to explain to you. And so this wildfire has evacuated celebrities, locals in Los Angeles. Very dangerous time. And so if you're really out there, just make sure you give your family a call, kind of stay weather aware. Now we're going to transfer out to the desk. So sorry.
So taking a look over our Panama City campus where that shower activity is, it is very cloudy out there where we have those light showers that I mentioned earlier on the radar, but that's right there. So Panama City is located right under this large swath of green. So the live cam, you don't have that much going on other than that light shower activity, but that region is also in a drought. So that rain is very beneficial for them as well. Unfortunately, that shower activity will not be moving through Tallahassee this evening, but Tallahassee has had our fair share of rain today, which is a good thing. The entire state of Florida, however, has transitioned sort of back to our summer type conditions as we have had this warm front push up to our north. Notice the temperatures are in the 80s or high 70s throughout the entire state. That is warmer than expected for this time of year. These dew points are in a tropical-like state. Next 24 hours, you have this shower activity with this stationary front just sort of lingering over the state. Not that much going on. Most of the activity is further to our west, where we have a cold front that will push through the area come Halloween. Low temperatures tonight through the 70s throughout the entire state. Tomorrow's forecast is going to be in the Tampa area around the Bay. It's going to be in your 80s and your 90s. Moving on to the Miami area, more tropical heat-like conditions. Further, the entire state is basically going to be in your 80s, your mid-80s, your upper 80s. It's going to feel like summer. And notice as we get a little bit closer to the west side of the state by the Panhandle, it is going to be more in your 70s. And for a better look at that, we're going to go ahead and pass things off to Harrison for a look at the local.
Yeah, thank you. And we're really going to zoom in here to the Tallahassee region specifically. And we're going to start things off with a live shot looking across Tallahassee now. We do have those upper level clouds as well as some low clouds that are really blocking out the sun right now. We do have those temperatures in the upper 70s with some moderate to heavy rain earlier. We've started to dry out a little bit since the 6 o'clock hour began, and we do have east winds at 5 miles an hour. Taking a look at the satellite and radar here across the southeast, really zooming in here, we do have that rain that we've been talking about along with the stationary front and the cold front that's going to come through and save the day and bring in those fall-like temperatures as we get into the weekend. Our temperatures across the region are in the mid to upper 70s here across the Big Bend and tri-state regions. 74 degrees in Bainbridge, 75 in Quincy. Not feeling too bad outside, but the dew points are actually making things quite muggy and feel quite oppressive for this time of year. We have a dew point of 72 in Tallahassee, 70 in Valdosta, a little bit higher down near the coast, but not a whole lot. 74 in Perry and 73 in Apalachicola. Our wind speeds now out of the north a little bit right now. We aren't expecting that to continue over the next several days. We are expecting southerly and easterly flow to return for the most part, helping to drive in a little bit of moisture over the next several days. But for the next 24 hours, we're going to keep those clouds around overnight. Not going to allow the temperatures to drop too much. You don't get a whole lot of radiative cooling when you keep those clouds around. And tomorrow afternoon, we should see a few peaks of sunshine, but we will keep a pretty good chance for some stray showers around over the next day or so. Tonight we are expecting some showers. Again, that low isn't going to be able to drop too much here with a low of 72 degrees. With that radiative cooling not being able to take place because of those clouds, we are going to stay in the lower 70s. And our sunset will be at 6:52 tonight. Starting to get earlier. We're going to have the time change here coming on Sunday, so that will actually move an hour earlier. And I don't know, some people like that, some people don't. I prefer a later sunset here than 6:52 at night. Tomorrow, for the Miami game, our high temperature is a nice 69 degrees. Perfect weather for a Knoll win, and it is a rivalry game. We really need this one, guys, so everybody go out and support. It's going to feel great outside. And as we look at the 7-day forecast, you can start to see that front come through here. We got the rain chances tomorrow and Thursday. A little bit lower of a rain chance on Thursday once that front pushes through. And then an 18-degree drop in our high temperatures between Thursday and Friday. That is going to feel amazing, y'all. 67 degrees for your high on Friday, 70 degrees for your high on Saturday. So again, that Miami game going to feel great out. And once we get some clouds coming back into the picture on Sunday, those high temperatures aren't going to be able to rebound quite as much. So we should stay in the 60s for Friday once again. And our lows, look at this, in the 40s for the first time really this year. That's going to feel amazing. So now we're going to go ahead and pass things off to the desk where Jonathan and Hayden are going to close out the show for us.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Harrison. So one of the things we notice is we're going to get into the 40s for the first time this year. And I don't know about you, but I'm personally going to take this last few days of 80s and 70s and enjoy them all I can, because I don't know about you, but I love the warmer weather.
Yeah, definitely. If you're a short person, shorts, t-shirt, you definitely want to get your time in because this will change.
Yeah, so once we get into the 40s, you're going to need to start to crack out your winter wardrobe. Go ahead and wear your jackets around campus. But for Halloween, the weather's looking good. I don't think your kids will need to wear giant puffy jackets as they have to do up north.
No, we might have to contend with some rain, but overall in the region, I think it should come in a little bit after the trick-or-treating. And so it will be a little bit warm on Halloween, but overall it's gonna be a good day for them.
Yeah, so maybe a light rain jacket or much, but it's going to be a nice evening for trick-or-treating. And what also is going to be a nice evening is go ahead and look at that 7-day forecast and notice game day on Saturday. It's only going to be a high of 70. There is no excuse for you not to get into Doak Campbell Stadium. There's no excuse for you not to pack those stands. Students, if you have not already gotten your game tickets, you need to go ahead and get those as soon as possible before they run out. It's going to feel great inside that stadium. I can't wait to be there. So it's just going to be really nice weather and hopefully a good game.
Yeah, it's all about feeling good, looking good out on the football field. Hopefully you have a lot more energies, feeling nice out, do that word chant, make Miami feel uncomfortable to say the least.
But you won't be feeling uncomfortable in the stands. And the other thing is, after the game, we are going to go ahead and set our clocks back on Sunday night. That is Sunday, November 3rd, and we are going to fall back, which means you're going to get an extra hour of sleep after the game. So I don't want to hear the excuse of, oh, I need to catch up on sleep, because you're going to get an extra hour of sleep anyway, so might as well use that hour and go ahead and enjoy those nice conditions at the game.
Yeah. So make sure you follow us on Twitter at twitter.com FSU Weather.
Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/FSU Weather.
Or watch live on YouTube, youtube.com FSU Weather.
And then the other thing you can do is you can follow us on Instagram at FSU Weather and go ahead and send us those pictures. Send us a picture of you out on Halloween enjoying the weather with your family. Send us a picture of you at the game. Go ahead and send us a sunset picture if you have one tonight, because those sunsets for the last few nights have been absolutely gorgeous. So once again, I'm student meteorologist Jonathan Marcus.
And I'm student meteorologist Hayden Wilder.
And this is FSU Weather. Have a great evening.